Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 22 Drive Crema with Red Bull, episode number 43 today for the Spanish Grand Prix of Season 3, round number 5. If you missed the previous episode, uploaded last Thursday at Imola, I recommend you go and check that out, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel to see plenty more F1 22 Drive Crema videos as and when they come out. Coming into this one then, looking at R&D, we've got 3,500 resource points, so it's now time to spend on rear downforce. We've got two available. We're going to go for the ultimate one, because that's going to give us a bit more performance, and that's got a 1% reduction on as well. So we'll get that in for Baku. That'll be crucial for Baku, and then we'll look at that minor one, or major one I think that is actually, at a later date. McLaren still brought more upgrades as well. Alpine have jumped from way back to be the second fastest team on the grid. It's a very bit up and down. We'll have to wait and see if they can stay there, you know, how close it is. Alfa may have caught up to AlphaTauri as well. I suspect AlphaTauri don't have any upgrades left because of the HQ department facilities are only at Spec 2 as well, so obviously once you have to wait for the teams, which is very annoying when the teams don't upgrade there, especially when you're the team there, not so much when you're not at the team there. One less one to worry about there. But anyway, to qualify to Spain, and it's business as usual, and we're down in 12th place. I'm not going to lie, Portugal's are now available. So this probably might be the final time we see Spain on this game. I don't yet know if it will be the final time we race at Spain, but it's I want to call it the straight isn't long enough Grand Prix, as you'll see later in the race. Anyway, back to qualifying. Red first sector, not great. Not great for the middle sector either. As well, I have the my main advantage is through sector 1 though, so I'm not too fussed that I haven't messed up through sector 1, not having a great thing go wide there, but we do get the better traction eventually, a tenth and a bit up, and we're actually almost 2/10 up on Magnussen's time through the middle sector, now through the new turn, after the new turn 10 through this section as well, through to the final section, which is where we're poorest compared to the AI. I must admit, through this section as well. There's a much improved final couple of corners. We're almost 5/10 up on our previous best time, and up to the line. I think that's P6. It is indeed P6. So yes, well, it could have been a lot worse. We're outside the top 10, but Leclerc, Verstappen are on the front row. You know, they are our main two charter rivals. We're only P6, so yeah, a little bit frustrating, but you know, we can look to move forwards from here. It's not the end of the world. It's not like we're P13 or anything. So yeah, we'll see what we can do from 6th place. It's time for the race of today's Spanish Grand Prix.
The Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture of the Formula 1 calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day, he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint into Turn 1. This is a 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out Turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of Turn 9. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Max Verstappen, who will start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Russell, Esteban Ocon, Phoenix, Sainz, Hamilton, Gasly, and Daniel Ricciardo, Magnussen, Albon, Sebastian Vettel, and Schwartzman, Joe, Tsunoda, Lance Stroll, and Mick Schumacher. Latifi and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
Of course we're going to keep that momentum going, Mark. It's just about how many points we can score. Race strategy is our one stop, as per usual, from soft mediums. This is the final race. Well, you'll see what I mean about that on Thursday's episode, which has the new patch. So stay tuned for that. As well, that episode out on Thursday from Backers. Viper lights are out, back to this one, and away we go. And as usual, it's a miserable start. As well, we've been jumped by Sainz, but he's just boxed in by Ocon, so we're just going to dive it down the inside of Ocon, try and get in front of Ocon. We can't get in front of Ocon, we're just going to cut through Sainz through this corner now. We've got a little bit more power, so not power, speed over the Alpine, which is very good in a straight line. The Alpine is the only one car that can really match the Red Bull for straight line speed. As we're going to switch it from right to left down the inside of Ocon. Lovely little move, crucial that we don't get stuck behind Ocon there, because you know he has got the better straight line speed slightly, or can really match as get stuck behind. You can see their sights having to go at Ocon as well, but it's unable to get past the Frenchman. As we're watching Lewis Hamilton, he's taking on Kevin Magnussen in the AlphaTauri, and it's up the inside. A lovely little move at turn 9 there as well. Up the road, we've got Lando Norris now. He's trying to overtake Hamilton's teammate George Russell as well. And this needs to be a better race for Norris and Ricciardo, really, because their poor form. But Norris is already up to P3 and is on the charge. Verstappen, though, is the man who leads the way ahead of Leclerc, who got him on the start there. So I'm hoping Norris can go, if I can't move forwards, then at least damage limitation wise Norris can move forwards as well. You can see him pour through sector 3. You can just see from this one we're just not able, the straight isn't long enough to be able to catch George Russell in a straight line. And you might think, well, maybe you should keep with him, but again, this comes to the pattern of the Mercedes car, which is being in this career mode, just like in real life, poor in a straight line and very good in the corners. So you can see how much he opens, like 3/10 through the final sector. I'm able to gain that back down the main straight, but I'm not able to get close enough to be able to make an overtake, and he's getting DRS, or would be getting DRS, a little bit of DRS to pull him away as well, and a bit of slipstream from McLaren ahead, who's going past Leclerc, and that's Norris up to P2 there. As meanwhile, a long way behind. This is what I wanted to make that move earlier, because look how many cars are stuck behind Ocon, and Ricciardo is at the back of the train. So I jump to lap 8. We're going to come in for a one and only stop. Again, we keep setting purple first sectors, green in the middle sector, and then not very good in the final sector as well. So that's pretty much the overwhelming feeling towards this track. I had to be a little bit held there to wait for Sainz, which is annoying, and Gasly there, both which coming in 2.5 second stop though. So yes, but what's the cost going to be? Hopefully we haven't lost too much time by that, because if we have, I will not be very happy about that. We've had to make the earlier stop as well, and that just sums it up. We were a second behind Russell. We've lost a second to him on lap number 10 after everyone has made their pit stop. So really frustrating race, I'm not going to lie. Just unable to move forwards from the P5 that we got from our P6 starting position. Sainz has jumped Ocon through the pit so we've gone very wide there. But we have got DRS, we've got ERS as well. We're just going to deploy everything, and at this point I'm just absolutely fed up with being stuck behind Russell. Dive it down the inside, and we're just going to barge ourselves through up to P4, because if we hadn't got stuck behind Russell, if there was a little bit more pace in the car, I would have been able to probably get a podium, or close to the win maybe, but alas, it's P4. as well. And this man has just absolutely dominated. Max Verstappen, he's coming through for his first Grand Prix win of the season. Lando Norris is going to come through for his first podium of the season. Sorry, the first podium since Bahrain. First point since Bahrain as well. First big points for McLaren since Bahrain. For us, a little bit sketchy on fuel. We might need a fuel upgrade as well. But already we had to block not Russell there, and just to serve Russell right, Sainz gets in front of him as well. Not Ocon's going to have a go as well. You know, I did have to lift off because of the fuel, which is why, you know, Leclerc and Norris are so far in front as well. So the fuel a little bit frustrating about that. We'll look to do some fuel efficiency upgrades, but we do hold on in the end for P4, Sainz and P5 as well. But overall, yeah, not happy about that. Verstappen gets driver of the day for absolutely dominating an utterly dull race. But fortunately, we have Portimao, so that can replace it for season 4. As well, fastest lap, faster than Leclerc, so there was pace there. Nothing to be able to match Verstappen. It's just that we got stuck behind Russell for so long, and then the fuel became an issue at the end of the race, which was disappointing. Unable to really move forwards today. So, yes, apologies about that. But in the Drivers' Championship, then our lead's been cut to 8 points to both Leclerc and Verstappen. So we'll look to bounce back next time out at Baku, better track for me. Norris is on the move as well. McLaren are now back ahead of AlphaTauri as well. We're just cruising the constructors because Ocon isn't delivering the results that Alpine really need to be able to challenge us in the constructors as well. Better day for Sainz at his home Grand Prix. Vettel outside the points today, so Ferrari, you know, they've had the car, but on paper, but out on the track, it's just not coming for them really. And the same can be said for Lewis Hamilton as well. Mercedes, not really a track for them, being overtaken there. So that's where I'm going to leave this very frustrating episode. If you haven't enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe channel, and you see plenty more F1 22 Drive Career videos as and when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.